live. Try to do at least one a week. And today we're going to be talking about the technical aspect. So, not exactly the cipher per se, but the technical aspect. And I'm sure I'll repeat that several times as more and more people join in. Okay, so first off, the acknowledgments. This, I would never, never in a million years, maybe 2 million years, but never in a million years have gotten to the topic that I'm on now for the technical aspect. For one, I wasn't even looking for it. The way I approach it was trying to go through the poem, and then if I see something that leads me to find the cipher or a technical aspect, that'll be how I get it. And again, the only reason we're here on the technical aspect again. Hey, what's up, Straw Hat Hunter? First one, congratulations. Yo, Hooli, how you doing, Hooli? Second one. How I got here was in the very beginning when asked about ciphers. Justin said, "Okay, yeah, there's one." Then later on, Emma and Jam's interview, which if you haven't watched it, that's a great one. Later, Treasure Pack. We're talking about the technical thing today. All right. So before I forget, let's go ahead and get the acknowledgement out. Thank you to the Treasure Pack for sharing this. They're a lovely couple, and the husband Jim, he came across this and he decided to share it. So thank you very much for sharing it, or else I wouldn't have got here. Mr. Dallas, what's up? So again, we got here from Justin elaborating in his third interview, I believe, third or fourth with Justin and Jam. If you haven't watched it, great interview. Saying, well, there's two elements, right? There's one, and a lot of people are keying in on element because of the T-shirt that he wore, element. So, Tristina, hey, how you doing? So, if you believe that Justin orchestrated this that photo, right? The photo of him wearing element shirt all those years ago, a little bit of a stretch for me to believe, but that's a whole nother solve for a whole nother day. Anyways, there's two elements, right? There's a cipher and a technical aspect. And so now this is what I think is the technical aspect, all right? So without wasting too much longer, let's go ahead and get into it. The basis is what's called SQL, right? And I've got some notes here because it's not something I'm super familiar with, right? So if you Google SQL, you put in Wikipedia or whatever, you're gonna get it's SQL stands for Structured Query Language, right? It's a domain-specific language used to manage data, especially in a relational database management system, also known as RDBMS. It's particularly useful in handling structured data, i.e. data incorporating relations among entities and variables. All right, so hopefully you're able to follow that. It took me a couple of read-throughs to follow it, but I was able to keep up with it. So that's the basis, all right? So from there, I'm like, okay, I understand that a little bit. The example that I'm going to give you is something that after I read the example, I'm like, oh wait, I do kind of do this with my daily work. There's already someone built one of these queries, and I just use it. All right, so here's the example. All right, so if you have a database of employees, right, at work, you might run select SELECT, right, select from employees, and what that would do is that would retrieve all columns and rows from a table named employees. All right, so I'm sure, having thought about this, I'm sure most people in an office type job or a logistics type job or any kind of job where you're dealing with tables and Excel sheets, you're probably using something like this on a daily basis. You may not know it because somebody has done all the work to enter the commands for you and you just run a play, all right? Hey, Vaden, how you doing? I'm sorry that your girlfriend broke up with you. All right. All right. So that's kind of an example of SQL. Here's how we're going to apply it to the poem. And I'm really excited about this. I've been wanting to get to it, but I was on location in Vermont for the past couple of days, so I wasn't able to fully devote my full attention to it. All right, so I've got the poem pulled up here. Toward the end, right, where we're talking about, hold on, I want to read it from that. Okay. Truth rests not in clever minds. So I'm reading from the last stanza. Truth rests not in clever minds, not in tangled, twisted finds. Like a river's steady flow, and then there's the famous M dash, right? What you seek, you already know. So that's toward the end. And so I do apologize for, hey, Tristina, thank you very much. Wow, appreciate that. Thank you very much. For those of you who have been on Discord past couple of days, probably a week now, we have kind of hashed this out a little bit, but to catch everybody else up, I'm going to go ahead and kind of tidy it all up together. Tell me, how can I become a trillionaire and take revenge from her? Well, I don't know. Some say revenge, the best revenge is a life well lived, right? So if you follow that kind of ethos, hey, just live your life, move on, and then you will that'll be your best revenge, right? When she sees you living successfully and everything, all right? You can also follow this channel and try to find the treasure that I'm describing, and you won't be a trillionaire, but you'll be a millionaire, I guess. Thank you, Tristina. Hey, I really appreciate everybody watching, especially the positive engagement right there, and definitely the super chat. That's also awesome. All right, so rereading the last stanza, I never really got anything from there. And I think a lot of people were with me on that. I think that a lot of people are finding locations for the first couple stanzas, right? There's a question, what lives in time? Wisdom's shadowed sight and all that. Everyone's finding a location. They're finding rivers. They're finding maidens. They're finding brides. There's a lot of action to do, right? Cast your pole, right? So there's a foot of 3, 20 degree. There's a lot of action and stuff going on in the first 4 stanzas, right? But the last one, I myself didn't really have anything from there. I think the first time I read it, I was like, okay, this is just he's emphasizing something. It's a circle back kind of motion. Okay, that kind of makes sense, right? And I haven't heard anything really from there. So what excites me is that there's a technical aspect hidden in the last stanza because, again, I didn't really have anything from there. Vedant, thank you, man. I appreciate you too. 11 years. That's really tough, man. That's a hard one. I'm 3-4 years into my relationship, so someday I hope to be like you and make it to 11 years. Okay. So we're in the last one, right? And the key that the treasure pack found was in the not in, not in. All right, because it's a repetition, and I've been calling out the repetitions in the poem, right? For me, I was more focused on the repetition of the different word tenses, right? For example, so we have flowing, right? Can you find what lives in time? Flowing through. And then we have toward the bottom, we have like a river steady flow. So that's a repetition that I'm looking at, flowing and flow. We have wait and awaits, right? In Ursa East, his realm awaits. That's a good one. And then we have, where we at? Wait. What lives in time, flowing through. Wisdom waits, right? So waits and awaits. And there's 4 sets of those in the poem. It's just the same word, but different tense. So I actually missed the not in, not in. I don't know how I did. Maybe because it was a set of 2 words, not in, not in. I think that kind of, okay, I threw it off because in is repeated several times, right? At least 4 or 5 times maybe, the word in. So I kind of overlooked it, which is a great way of hiding things in plain sight, right? And that's what Justin does, hiding in plain sight. Since it does have clues if you have an idea where the treasure... Yeah, so I could agree with that, Katrina, that, that stanza is kind of helping you when your boots on the ground. Maybe it's checkpoint-ish related, but starting off the rip in the front, I don't think I had a lot to go with off there. All right, so keying in on the not in, right? It's a repetition, so the repetition draws our eyes. Let's look in. The treasure pack, right? Brilliant minds over there. Remember that not in is a command from SQL. And going back to SQL, let's see, what do I have here? There's several elements, right? You have keywords, clauses, expressions, predicates, and queries. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are 5. And again, I'm not a genius. I'm just reading it off of my information here, right there, right? So this, I guess, would be a I don't know if this is a predicates or if this is a keyword or a clause, but it falls in there somewhere. Someone who's an expert in SQL can probably elaborate in the comments a little bit down there. Since the 2nd grade, that's a long time. Launched my own cigarette and cigars brand. King's Gold, a good name. King's Gold, hey, it's King, it's royalty, it's gold. It's a pretty good brand. I'm not a big smoker myself, but maybe you got something there. All right, maybe something off your name. You got the double V's going, right? So tying it back in. So we're keying in on not in, and from this is very easily understandable. Not in is you're taking away something from a database. So if we have a database of, we're looking at the poem, right? We have words, we have letters, right? So those are all databases that you can use. So you could either take away the words not or in, which wouldn't really give you much else, or you could take away the letters in tangled, twisted, finds, and clever minds. Because again, he's saying the truth, something we're looking for, is going to be found not in. So that's your take out. Take out all the letters that make up clever minds, and take out all the letters that make up tangled, twisted finds. So I think that's a general concept, and I think that's pretty easy to follow, right? Because Justin's saying that anybody can solve this. It's a very approachable method. Someone with a little bit of technical knowledge and technical know-how might already know this. But if you didn't, watching a short YouTube video, right, a YouTube guy trying to explain this to you, having just learned about it from Wikipedia and from Google, I think you're able to follow along, right? I think most people were able to pick up what I'm getting at, is that there's a language, right, computer related, and the phrase "not in" means something, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna take away something from the poem, and it's gonna leave you something else. All right. The other guy, what's going on? How you doing? Take a quick little break here. All right, so here's where everything kind of splits off. The treasure pack, I believe last I talked with them, they're trying to get some coordinates from that. I'm not a big fan of getting coordinates from there. I think a little bit simpler. All right, so the way I apply this is, if you take out from that stanza, take out the actual words, clever minds, take out the actual words, tangled, twisted finds, and what you have now is truth, and then blank, 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 like a truth rest. So truth rest, blank, 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 like a river steady flow. And that kind of can be a sentence right there, right? One clue short of a treasure. Hey, how you doing? Good job explaining. We hope we can tie in results to a good result. Yeah, I'm hoping also. I really hope that you guys don't share, because if you don't share, that means you're onto something and you go get the treasure, all right? But if you end up getting stuck, the community's here. I'm here, and I'm definitely going to listen to what you guys have. All right, so my top wish is that you guys find the coordinates and go get it, because that would be then I could interview you on the show, and it'd be really a great story. But so that's how I applied it, right? Because when I tried to take away the letters, like for example, CLEVERMIND, like the letters that make up the words, I get kind of a mess. And then that goes a little bit beyond my expertise of trying to assign values and working with codes and anagrams and shift ciphers. And I'm just keeping it simple. Right? Other people are working down that road, other capable people, I fully trust them to do that. But I'm going to stick on the short and easy side here. And we're just going to look at that sentence right there. Truth rest. Remember, we've taken away not in clever minds. We've taken away not in tangled, twisted finds, because he says it's not in there. So we're taking it away and we're looking for truth. And what we have left is truth rest like a river steady flow. And then there's the M dash, right? The M dash is special, and this would be a reason why, because you could use a comma, right? You could have used any other punctuation, but you use the M dash there. And in my mind, that's a little confirmation that, hey, we made a new sentence. We took out something and made a new sentence, right? And we took it out because we used a little bit of technical knowledge. So, Froggy, Estee, what does truth rest like a river steady flow get us? Well, water is kind of a theme throughout this whole poem, so is rivers. And this is where I get a little bit sciencey, but I think it's easy to be explained. Water will always go to the lowest point, right? If you dump a bucket of water on your floor, assuming you have a solid floor, like, I don't know, wood, concrete, tile, not carpet. Carpet won't work, it'll soak it up. You dump a bucket of water on your floor. If that floor isn't completely level, the water is going to go to the lowest point, right? That's an easily enough analogy to understand. If you if you dump a cup of water on your table and it's slanted, it's going to go to the lowest point, right? So in my mind, who was it? Christina? I think she said it earlier. Katrina, sorry. We'll have a clue. We'll give you an idea where the treasure's located. I agree with that. So this is our clue, that when we get boots on the ground, when our wheels stop moving, right? That's a little call out from Los Camarones Calientes. When our wheels stop moving and we get out of the car and we're looking around, in my mind, I'm going to look for the lowest point. That's going to be the first thing. Well, first I'll look to see if there's any bronze dogs laying around. But if not, I'm going to go to the lowest point, not the high point, right? Which a lot of people would go. There's a lot of mountains in there in the story. But for me, boots on the ground. If anybody here is already at the boots on the ground phase, I would recommend you go to the lowest point when you're out there. Look for the micro terrain. Look for dips in the terrain. One is going to shade it from the road. Anyone driving by or anyone at ground level, a dip would hide something in there. A ravine. I'm not saying go to the Grand Canyon. Don't jump in anything dangerous. All right. I know Craters of the Moon has a lot of fissures and crevices in there. Don't do any of that. What's up, Cypher? Listen to everyone else. We'll hate on you for not thinking like them. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's always going to be the people who are really passionate about their solves and their theories, and then might get a little upset if you don't disagree. If you don't disagree with me, though, that's fine. Just watch my stuff and hear me out at least once. All right. So that's kind of the big reveal here is the whole not in, not in. I did this is a little bit newer, so I'm ending the show with this, and then if anyone else has anything, I'm willing to. It's a live show, so I'm willing to engage with anyone who has anything book related stuff. So the whole concept of taking something out has got me going down the thread of plugins. It's kind of the latest thing I've been on, plugging in or plugging out, and that's come from the story where he's at Microsoft and he plugged in a cable. Had a great discussion with this the other night with some guys who work in IT, and Katie, guys and gals. He plugged in a network cable and it caused some sort of feedback and was disastrous to Microsoft and some of the servers it was running. And then so someone had to run in and plug it out. So that was a case of plugging something in was bad and the solution was to take something out. And I think that might be a little bit of a confirmer with leaving the poem as written in is you won't understand. You have to take something out to understand something, right? So that's kind of the basic concept of what I'm working with. I think other people are trying to do that too. What we got? Do we think it's buried or hidden? Oh, I don't know. I think something is not buried. All right, so I don't know. Maybe there's a couple things there to see, because Justin seems to indicate that when you get out there, you'll run into some kind of checkpoint, and then you'll know you're in the right spot, and then you'll see it, right? Because people are talking about asked him, do I need a metal detector? He said it's not really going to matter. Well, how would a metal detector not matter if there's something visible that you already see? So it may be you have to dig, but there will be something there that tells you where to dig. That's the way I'm working with right now. Great. Hey, Treasure Pack, thank you. It's that's what the community does, right? We build on each other. So it's you guys gave a little bit of a runway, and I kind of launched a little bit of a plane up, and we'll see if it crashes or if it lands somewhere fun, right? That's kind of what we do here. What else? Anybody else got anything else? Go ahead and just type it in and shout it out. But yeah, the plugin idea is something I'm looking at, because everybody's getting a lot of well, not everybody, but a lot of people are pulling great details from his early chapters, right? His childhood. We're getting stuff about treasure, stuff about fishing, stuff about parents, stuff about brotherhood, stuff about raccoons, right? And then the book moves into his phase of like his adult life and working, and then we read a couple chapters before he's kind of like reinvigorated with getting into fence hunt. And so during that his adult section, yeah, he meets Tucker and there's a little bit of stuff there, but his stuff about work, I haven't really heard too many people pull stuff out. So I do like the idea that we're pulling out a little bit of database management, right? A little bit of directories kind of talk. And so we're using that to apply it to the poem in the whole plug and play kind of aspect. So that's a little bit, it's a rougher idea. It's not really polished. I'm probably going to continue working on this for the next couple of days and see if I can't get something more concrete. But there may not be anything. Like, I'm perfectly fine with, if this is all I have, truth rest like a river steady flow, that's going to be good enough for me, because the way Justin describes the technical aspect in the cipher, it's not a must. If I don't figure out the technical aspect or I don't figure out the cipher, it's not like I have no shot at finding this thing, right? There's other avenues. I think he's arranged the poem and arranged the clues enough that, hey, it works best if you follow clue to clue to clue and find it. But if you miss something somewhere along the way, but you have all the other ones, like I don't know, if you 90% of the clues, I think you can still get a location. What we got here? We got some stuff in the chat. I found the checkpoint, and you have to be boots on the ground. You'll know when you see it. Hey, well, congratulations, Katrina. All right, on the checkpoint. Pete Leal, what's up, Froggy? What's up, Mr. Pete? How you doing? When is the next boots on the ground Vermont? So Vermont, let's see. I'm traveling a little bit next couple of weeks. I have a wedding the 20th, 21st in upstate New York. So I think from there I should be able to head up there. So we're looking the last week of June, probably a little bit of Vermont stuff. And hopefully I'll figure out the symbols, right? I've got a couple ideas. I'm not ready to present them yet until I polish them up a little bit, but I think I've got some interesting ideas for the symbols on the AT map. OP, Original Panic, what's going on? Does anyone think he would have hidden the treasure in one of the states he didn't mention in the book? I do not think that. Oh, hold on, sorry. States he didn't mention. Okay, so what state hasn't he mentioned in the book? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I feel like he mentions most of them. California, I thought he got Tucker in California. I thought that was the California thing, but maybe not off the top of my head. So that could be that could be something there. But I thought for a saying you were saying and Opie, I'm not saying that 100%. I just in my mind I thought I read that, so but I'm not 100% on that. So it could be. Diana, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Alaska could be okay. Yeah, it could be Alaska. Maybe Alaska is not. He didn't mention anything in Alaska. But I just personally don't think it's Alaska. I don't. Cool. I'll be out the week of July 4th. Oh, okay. Hey, you're going to Vermont for July. Excited. Man, I wish I could. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna be up there in July 4th. But if we are, I'll definitely send you a message, touch base. By the way, if anyone's watching, One Clue Short of a Treasure has a YouTube channel, and they posted a few interesting videos on these treasure hunts. So I think if you just click on their name or click on their profile, that'll link you to it. All right, that'll be pretty neat. What else do we got? The accident happened in California. Oh, I thought the accident happened in Washington, but maybe I'm getting mixed up. See, I need to focus more. What do you think about the football reference? About the football field? Like, is that what you're talking about, Katrina? The football field? If you could just elaborate a little bit, what football reference? Oh, not Vermont. Oh, okay. So we won't run into each other. One clue short of a treasure. But good luck. Hey, I mean, I've done boots on the ground in Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, all for the AT box. So I was trying to just work near me, trying to figure out solves that I wouldn't have to travel that far. But having been to Vermont, I can't. I don't know. I can't deny it. It's got me hooked. What else? Alaska. I will leave it open for. I don't really have anything else up for this one. So if anybody else has anything in the comments, we'll go ahead and address it. If not, we'll go ahead and shut the live down. 20 minutes, it's not bad. That's about my attention span anyways. I need to go back and continue working on the symbols, right? For the AT box. I really think there's something there. Which, if you haven't watched that video's up. The my second boots on the ground in Vermont on the trail. I think it's a pretty good video. Looking back, I probably would have filmed. I need to get a filming rig. I want to do maybe something stabilized a little bit. A few people have messaged, they get a little queasy. My own mother gets a little motion sickness, so last thing I would want is for someone to get sick watching a video. So maybe something stabilized. I might look into that. Neil's in the football field. I will have to punt on that for the three. Yeah. So he uses a lot of football. Although Katrina, I will say he uses a lot more food references than football references. And as far as sport references, I think he uses like some cycling and some running, maybe even some swimming references. So the football one doesn't really stand out as much. Stand out to me like he uses football more than anything else, right? But I mean, it is pretty interesting. I don't see anything football related. I mean, I guess foot of three, yeah, a yard, right? But I don't really see anything else football related in the poem or anything that leads me to football. I think if the solve came out that hey, you had to know about football to do this, I don't know. That seems a little bit weaker to me. Not the weakest thing, but I probably won't be following up too much on there. Hey, I appreciate you trying. Oh, hey, are you trying to help or are you trying to throw us off? Because you already have the checkpoint. So if you already have the checkpoint, you might be trying to throw us off there. May address the button you talked about as a combo locked. Yeah. That's pretty interesting. The little button on top. It looks like there's some locks I know of that have that kind of button on top, and there's a couple like small, simple machines that have that little like knob that sticks out. So that could be something else. I have not read the book. Oh, okay, then. Okay. All right. So this was pretty exciting, pretty stuff. Yeah, I think that's the technical thing. I don't think it's a cipher. I think that's a technical thing, but pretty okay. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for watching, and appreciate the super chat again very much, Tristina. Very much appreciate it. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Be safe out there. Bye.